Okay, I'm going to start question 14. It says, if DE has endpoints D, -1, 6, and E, 3, -2, then the midpoint of DE lies in quadrant 1. So we have to find the midpoint of this segment and then see if it lies in quadrant 1. So here we have the midpoint formula. We're going to add the x's together and divide by 2, and then add the y values together and divide by 2. So I already have it set up for a little blank template right here. The x value from point D is -1, and the x coordinate from point E is 3. So I have -1 plus 3 for the x values, and then for the y values in the coordinate of D, 6 is the y value, and I'm going to add -2 from the E value. Now I can see that these two, -1 and 3, are going to add to 2, and 2 divided by 2 is just 1. Then from the second term over here, 6 plus -2 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the coordinate of 1, 2 is the midpoint of DE, and yes, it is in quadrant 1. Okay, the next question. It says, if ST has endpoints S, -6, -1, and T, 0, 1, then the midpoint of ST lies on the x-axis. So again, I have the midpoint formula, and I'm going to add the x's in this first part. So -6 plus 0 from the T value that I got. Then for the y's, I'm going to say -1 plus 1. Now, over here, I'm going to simplify this. -6 plus 0 is -6, so -6 divided by 2 is -3. Then -1 plus 1 is 0, so 0 divided by 2 is 0. So looking at this point, the y value is 0, so yes, the midpoint is on the x-axis. Okay, number 16. If JK has endpoints J, -2, 3, and K, 6, 5, and LN has endpoints L, 0, 7, and N, 4, 1, then JK and LN have the same midpoint. So we need to actually find the midpoint of each of these segments and then see if they're actually the same. So JK, starting with that one, the x value for J is -2, and the x value for K is 6. Now the y value for J is 3, and I'm going to add the y value for K, which is 5. So looking at this, let's simplify. So -2 plus 6 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. And over here we have 3 plus 5 is 8, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that's the midpoint for JK. Now let's do the same thing for L and N. So L has an x coordinate of 0, and I'm going to add the x coordinate of the N, which is 4. And now we're going to look at the y values. So the y value of L is 7. I'm going to add the y value for N, which is 1. Now looking at that, we can simplify. 0 and 4 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then indeed, we get the same midpoint. So yes, they have the same midpoint. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, in this question it says point P is on the interior of angle LOK. If M, the measure of angle LOP is 2x plus 5, and the measurement of POK is x plus 3, and the measurement of LOK is 5x minus 6, then find the measure of all of these angles, basically. Okay, so first let's read this sentence. It says point P is on the interior of angle LOK. So we have a point here, we have a vertex here, and a point here. That's the angle, and then here's this. So let's label it. It says point P is on the interior of angle LOK. So I'm going to first label this LO and K. And then it tells me that point P is in the interior. So I know this one's P because it's inside of it. Okay, so now we have to apply this information that we have. It says the measurement of LOP is 2x plus 5. So this angle right in here, I'm probably going to turn it, is 2x plus 5. So I'll write in there, and that would be this angle right here. Okay, then I have the measurement of POK as x plus 3. So this angle is x plus 3, right inside of here. This one. And then we have one more piece of information. We have that the angle, the measurement of angle LOK, so LOK is this entire angle. That entire thing is 5x minus 6. Okay, it says find the measure of each of these. So we can use our algebra skills, kind of like the segment addition postulate. We're going to have the angle addition postulate. So we're going to do small plus small equals the large angle. So let's actually do that. So we have 2x plus 5 plus x plus 3 equals 5x minus 6. And now we're just going to combine like terms and simplify like we would algebraically. So we have 3x plus 8 and then equals 5x minus 6. Then I'm going to move the x's to the other side. So I'm going to have 8 is equal to 2x minus 6. I'm going to add the 6 over, so I'm going to get 14 is equal to 2x, and then finally dividing both sides by 2, I'm going to get 7 is equal to x. Now that is not what this question, the only thing this question is asking me. It's asking me for the measurement of each of these angles. So I'm going to plug in my answer to each of these to figure out what the measurement is. So please use the measurement and then the angle. I'm going to use the L for right now for angle because I don't have an angle symbol on my calculator or on my keyboard that's quickly ready to use. So then I'm going to use M and then an uppercase L for the measurement of angle, and then I'm going to list the letters of the angle that I'm talking about. So the first one that we're talking about is actually LOP, and LOP is the small one right here. So 2 and now times 7 is 14 plus 5 is going to be 19. So 19 is that one. Now the measurement of angle, and we're going to talk about LOK. LOK is the entire angle. So the 5x minus 6, so I'm going to plug in 7 right here, and 7 times 5 is 35, and 35 minus 6 is going to be 29. And then we have the measurement of angle POK, which is the other small angle. And I'm plugging in 7 to this, and 7 plus 3 is going to be 10. And those are all degrees. I'm going to put a little, no. So those are all degree measures on that question. Okay, on question 18, it's very similar to this one. It says point P is on the interior of MAN. So I'm going to add the points first. That was not good. Add the points. There's the vertex, there's another point, and then we have another dot there. And let me actually label where these are at. So P is on the interior of MAN. So I'm going to put M up here, A is over here, and N over there, and then P is in the middle of that, the interior side of it. So here's my diagram. Now let's keep reading. It says, if the measurement of MAP is x plus 4, and the measurement of PAN is 2x plus 3, and the measurement of MAN is 6x minus 11, then find the measure of MAN, MAP, and PAN. So let's fill in the information. So MAP is x plus 4, and NAP, or PAN, is 2x plus 3. And then I have that the entire angle itself from here to here, the big one, we have that that one is 6x minus 11. We're going to do the angle addition postulate again, where we do the small plus the small equals the large angle. So putting this together, we have x plus 4 plus 2x plus 3 equals 6x minus 11. Combining like terms, I get that that is 3x plus 7 is equal to 6x minus 11. Moving the x terms over, so 3x, I'm going to subtract that from both sides. You're going to get 7 is equal to 3x minus 11. Then I'm going to add the 11 over, and I'm going to get 18 equals 3x, and then I'm going to divide by 3, and I'm going to get 6 is equal to x. Okay, so x is 6, but that's not my final answer. I have to actually list the measurement of all of these angles. So the measurement of angle MAN is going to be the big angle, and that's the 6x minus 11. So I'm going to plug in 6 right here. So 6 times 6 is 36, so minus 11 is 25. The measurement of angle MAP is equal to just x plus 4, and x was 6, so 6 plus 4 is 10. So then the measurement of angle MAN, I could add those together, or I could plug it back into my original formula. Oh, did I look at the wrong one? No, I think I'm fine. No, did I? Well, I did. I said PA. Oh no, we've already done that one. Okay, that's why. PAN. PAN is the other small one, excuse me. So plugging in 6 here, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. There we go, that makes sense. So that's it for that question. Okay, we have a couple more on this page. It says, IM bisects angle NIC. Okay, that is really important. So let's first mark this angle. So we have an angle NIC, so I'm going to mark these points right here and label them. Go ahead and put a dot there too. So N, I, and C. So these are all the coordinates that we have. Now it says IM bisects. So there's an M right here, and it bisects it. Bisect means that it's going to cut it into 2 equal angles. So let me decrease this size a little bit. So what that means is this angle right here is congruent to this angle right there. So we have some information, and we're actually going to use that those two are equal to each other in order to solve. So NIM is 3x plus 8. Let's see if I can erase it in there right there. Perfect. And then MIC is 7x minus 4. So that's going to be in there. Now, we know that that ray bisects the angle NIC. Now we have to use that to solve for x and solve for all these missing angles. So these two things are congruent. So we're going to set them equal and solve for x. Okay, moving the 3x to the other side, I'm going to get 8 is equal to 4x minus 4. I'm going to add 4 over, so I'm going to get 12 is equal to 4x, and then divide by 4, and I'm going to get 3 is equal to x. Now let's plug it in to find out all these angle measures. The measurement of angle NIC, let's plug it in NIC. That would be the whole thing. Let's save that for a second. Measurement of angle NIM is, let's plug this in. So NIM right here. Plug in the 3 right here. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 8 is 17. Measurement of angle MIC right here. Plug in 3. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 minus 4 is also 17, and that's good. We want those to be the same because that was the whole point. Those two things are supposed to be congruent. Now, NIC is going to be those two together, so we can actually just add those two numbers together and know that it's 34 degrees. So all of these measurements right here are degrees. Number 20. We're going to run out of time, so watch the next video.